What's up? What's up? What's up, people? This is your boy Level Head back with another Live and Level Gamers podcast. This is episode 133. We will be talking about all things Nintendo and other stuff, but of course, Nintendo has the spotlight at the moment with this Nintendo Labo, and I guess that's short for laboratory. So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk a few other things. But right now I have my boy Keith Norris in Brilliance because we ain't in the building. We on the internet. So anyway, what's up, bro?
What's going on, bro? What's going on? What's going on, people? That's not in the chat. Where is everybody? Hmm.
I don't know. They might be about to jump in, and maybe they're gonna one. So all those in the chat, man, make some noise in the comment section. Let me know. Let us know what you're thinking. So, but yeah, man. What's been good with you, bro?
Same old, working, taking care of home. You know what I'm saying? Learning as a man. Never stop learning. Same old, same old.
Yeah, same here. Same here. Basically work, kids, wife, the whole nine of being a man and a male and a father and all and a husband and all that type of stuff. So
hmm
but yeah, man. So do that to get out. I don't know if it snowed your way, but my way it snowed. So I was basically a part of the snow crew at my job. So when it snows, I don't really get off from work.
hmm
We
Yeah,
all got to come in.
yeah.
Yeah.
It snowed here. We were out. Let's see. We were out for Martin Luther King. Then we was out the next day because it snowed, and then we had a 2 hour delay. Uh, Wednesday. So it's
Okay.
been a crazy week for us too.
Yeah, we was out for Martin Luther King, but it snowed. So because I work for a college, even though it was Martin Luther King's day, I had to come in because we had the snow crew remove. So because on our campus, we remove the snow. The city don't come in and do that. We do it. So the
hmm
whole crew had to come in. Man, I went out and got my snow garb and man out there looking like somebody who was ready to go to the Antarctic. Yeah, but I was, man, my arms are sore, my back sore, my calf sore. So that's another reason I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it, man. I've been just trying to recover from all that ice breaking and snow shoveling and salting and all the stuff we had to do. So I'm a little sore, but anyway, I'm here. I am here. But yeah, so welcome to the Live and Level Gamers podcast, man. We got a lot to discuss. A whole lot to discuss. What do you think about Black Panther breaking all the records, man, with the ticket set pre-order? What would they call that?
Yeah, it's pre. I think it's pre-sale. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's.
pre-sale.
I think that's what's up, man. I think that's a good showing that people are willing to support it. I'm not gonna say it's all black people, but I think the majority of us is going out to support this movie. But keep in mind, it's still a Disney film. It's still you still throwing your money at Disney. Um, I'm just trying to keep it real. If you want to support some actually black owned stuff, I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there. Just for an example, I was telling Nia about this. It's a comic book called "To Kids to Kings." I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's a black owned comic book. They even make a children's book, and I think they got another novel or whatever. But like I said, I'm gonna go watch Black Panther. I'm gonna be supporting them, but also, man, it's some other. If black people want to go out and support, other black people, there's a lot of stuff out there. Um,
Okay.
actually, just to throw this out there, I stumbled across www dot. Am I gonna put saying two W's? I don't know. Uh, we webuyBlack.com. You should check it out.
We
Buy
buy
Black.
black.com.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm at
webuyBlack.com.
dude, man. Something just is off about my Cavaliers, bro. Like this is just bothering me, dude. It ain't no reason why we should be beating Orlando Magic by 1 point. LeBron only had 16 points. Love only had 12. If it wasn't for Isaiah Thomas and Green, we would have lost.
And y'all need Kyrie.
You know, man, hush up, dog.
Hey,
About
I'm a Laker fan, so it's hard over here.
yeah, yeah. Lonzo bleeding and injured.
But the funny thing about that though is like when he's gone, we really lose. Like we lose with him, and we win with him. But when he's gone, we really lose, and you can tell there's a difference.
Yeah, he kind of coordinates. He's the coach on the court, man. He's the true point guard.
Yep.
And people need to stop hating on that boy. He a rookie, man. Like get a boy a chance to get his foot in under. He ain't got to be like LeBron or Kobe or whoever else. Which it took Kobe a while to get his footing in the league before he became the Kobe Black Mamba we know today.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
Social media and sports commentary and sports coverage like ESPN and Fox Sports, like, dude, it don't all turned into just entertainment and spectacle. They don't really cover, the fundamentals, the real aspects of sports. They just all about the controversy and whatever. They just as much about ratings now as anybody else. So
Yep.
whatever get the ratings. So news is horrible now. But anyway, we ain't here to talk about that. Yeah, man, keep my Cavaliers in your prayers, Keith. I know you're a Lakers fan, but y'all ain't doing nothing this year. Y'all have no chance. You know what I'm saying? No chance, no hope. So just keep my boys in your prayers,
Yes, man.
so that we make it.
Wow.
Anyway, no, I'm joking, man. That's my bad. I shouldn't did that. But anyway, let's get it in. So what you been gaming on, bro?
All right. So I said I was gaming on the game, and I was like, I'm gonna wait till Thursday to say it. Um, I re-downloaded the Division.
Dude,
Uh,
that's crazy.
I
Go
I
ahead.
just re-downloaded it. I haven't really just dove deep into it. But I re-downloaded because I think I'm gonna try to get back into it and try to play with some people online. If anybody got a PC out there who plays the Division, hit me up. Um, yeah, I'm ready to get back on that. Of course, I played some more Zelda. Did I play some more Zelda? I think I played some more Zelda. But yeah, I really just like I said, I just re-uploaded the Division, so I'm ready to get back on it, man. And that's pretty much all I did. I think.
Dude, that is very interesting that you brought up the division because I was telling my boy today that that's a game that I've been interested in playing again. I traded mine, but I don't know what prompted me to want to play it, but I was like the last few days to weeks I've been wanting to play the division like that co-op experience. And so I text my boy King Cooper. I was like, man, I've been having this itching to play the division.
Yeah.
And he's like, why? I was like, dude, I don't know. I guess it's the co-op and the whole camaraderie, teamwork that you had to do with the strategizing and working together to get through them raids and whatever else you had to do. That's interesting that's something that you already downloaded and back on. So that's crazy.
Yeah, I was close to the like the main campaign. I was close. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to go ahead and finish, and then try to find some people to play with. What's funny? No, I'm not gonna lie. What prompted me? I started hearing Gamertag Radio. They was talking about it, and I was like, I'm gonna re-download it. And then I started looking it up on YouTube, and there's a lot of people that's like, the game is a whole lot better from when it started. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you can just look up stuff and you'll be like, wow. So that's really what prompted me to play it. That it's actually a good game and it's a lot more rewarding than when it originally came out.
Okay. It was a good game. I'll tell you the truth, bro. It was a good game when it came out. I think a lot of people were just blinded by Destiny, too blinded by Destiny to give the division its fair shake. In my opinion, I played Destiny and I played the division, and I would rather play the division over Destiny any day.
Yeah,
And and I like I said, I played with my boy King Cooper. Me and K Bum was on there with King. We all three of us on there. And one time, even John Shaw was on there with me, K Bum, and King Cooper. All of us was playing together. So, like I said, I enjoyed it. Now, was I good at it? Not too much. They coined the phrase "level head down." That's where that came from. Because I was always the one who either got sniped or got shot to the point that they had to come and recover, well, revitalize me and all that type of stuff because I ain't had the right armor and all the stuff. I hadn't worked my guy up, so they was a little bit more powerful than me. All the other people that were playing were higher levels than me. So oftentimes when we go into battles, I was on my own. I would have got thrashed. I shouldn't even been there. But since I was playing with these dudes who was like 7 or 8 levels higher than me, oftentimes I would be the first one to get, taken out. So, but yeah, I enjoyed it. And like I said, I played Destiny. Of course, it's in that first person shooter angle, so that's already a lose for me for one. And then I don't know, it just wasn't all that interesting as they made it out to be. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great as they was acting like it was either.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy, man, because I got the itch to play the division again. And you're right, when they were talking about it on Game and Track Radio, it just made my desire want to play it even the more. But I had been like, dude, I wouldn't mind jumping back on that game, but traded it in already. So, but yeah, got rid of it already. So for me, I've been doing a lot of gaming this week, actually. I told you I was gonna get back on that Mario plus Rabbids.
Mm-hmm.
And bro, I've been on it, and I'm still on the same stage, but I'm at the boss of that stage. And this Joker is no joke. This dude, you've seen previews of him. He the opera singer. He the one that's basically was doing the opera and all that stuff. And it's interesting how you got to beat him. And I won't tell you because I don't know when you're gonna jump back on it, or if you plan on jumping back on it or not. But
oh no,
dude, I'm telling you, let me say it like this, man. I thought the same thing. I was like, man, am I really? I mean, I was enjoying Mario plus Rabbids when I first played it, and in some kind of way, I just burnt out on it. And I was like, do I really want to jump back on this game? Do I really want to play this? I was like, yeah, I said I would. I want to try it out again. Let me jump back on it. I've been hooked ever since, bro.
I thought didn't something come out? It was something that came. It was something that came out that just threw me off, and I was like, "Well, I'm done with Mario plus Rabbids." When did it? It came out in August, didn't it?
Mario, yeah, it came out. Yeah, it came out August. Yeah.
So it came out after Splatoon. I don't know what game. Some game threw me off, and I was like,
Odyssey.
I'm done.
Odyssey.
Was it? What? Odyssey was October.
I know. I got Doom. Between that, I got Doom. I got L.A. Noire, which I think came out after Odyssey. You must have got something on another platform because it wasn't. I don't know what was in between that, unless it was an indie title. I don't know what it could have been. I don't know about physical.
I don't either, man. I know I was playing it, and then all of a sudden I was like, I'm on this game. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what game that could have been. All I remember is, well, let me see. Let me think about that. For me, it would have been Doom. Doom took me off of it. And then L.A. Noire kept me off, and Odyssey came out and kept me off of it. And then after Odyssey, I went straight into L.A. Noire, and that kept me off of it. But, dude, I'm going to say this, man. Graphically, Ubisoft killed it with this game.
Ubisoft got a great graphical stuff, in my opinion.
Yeah, like, dude, it looks, I'm going to be honest. I know it's not, you can't run freely like Mario can, but just the visual aesthetics of Mario plus Rabbids, to me, is better than Odyssey.
Carry on.
Yeah, I mean, just at the, to me, okay, let me ask you this. Does Mario Odyssey look as good as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe?
Yeah, it has that same design signature. Yeah.
So you think, okay, because to me, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has a little better shine to it than Odyssey. Not that Odyssey is an ugly game or anything like that. Odyssey is a beautiful game, but it doesn't look like Kart to me. It doesn't have that popping off your screen Kart-like level of graphics. I don't know how to say that the artistic flavor ain't as, I don't know, bubbly, and I don't know, it ain't it's cart it's like cart, but it ain't as good as cart. Whereas Mario plus Rabbits is right there with cart to me. In visual aesthetics, it's right there. Like on the same level as Mario Kart. Whereas I wouldn't say Odyssey is.
I don't know, man. They all kind of tit for tat. I don't know. They all got that same design signature that the Mario games have now. I don't know. I have to really just analyze it. To me, it all kind of looks sameish.
Well, the reason I say that because, like again, it's been so long since I've actually played. Uh, it was so long since I've actually played Mario plus Rabbits, and right before I came downstairs, my daughter been bugging me about playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, so I put it in, and I'm looking at the visuals, and I'm like, man, Odyssey didn't look like this. Odyssey wasn't this polished. It was a good looking game. Don't get me wrong, but it was not. Look at they said they level smoking that good. Cornelius, I'm just being honest, man. It did not look as polished as Mario Kart. That's just me. I think it looked good, but not like Mario Kart. I don't know. Maybe I need to go play it again. Digital Foundry will have a video. I might need to go look at Odyssey again, put it in and see. But I just don't feel like it was, man. It was close, but not as close as Ubisoft game. I just think Ubisoft game was just really good looking game. It's a really good looking game, man. And I'm back hooked, Keith. I'm hooked on Mario plus Rabbids again, man. I finally got Yoshi, the Rabbit Yoshi, and I'm starting to really learn how. Now I had to get some aid on one part, dude. I just couldn't beat this. This dude was harder than this final boss. I just couldn't get past him because I didn't have enough. My characters weren't worked up high enough to beat him. I think so I'm really starting to learn what I need to add to each character to make me a better challenge. Make me able to compete with some of these battles that you end up getting in. I'm starting to learn which character is best for which type of settings. Like Peach is great from high ground. And if you put her in high ground situations, with me, how I got her leveled up, if I'm in a situation where I can get to a lot of high ground positions, I need to have Peach because she'll take folks out faster than some of my other characters. So it's that type of stuff that I guess I really wasn't putting enough thought to it. And now I'm starting to really figure out sometimes it's best to just focus on one enemy and take them completely out before I move to another one and powering up certain people who could do their little dash kicks. Like I got it to where my Luigi rabbit character can do three dashes in a row on a person, or two dashes. And the Yoshi rabbit can do 4 dashes. And when I hit him, it takes 90 points. 90 points each hit. And then my my princess rabbit has like 3, and dude. So I'm like, it's pretty dope, man. I don't know. I'm just back on it, man. I'm back on it hard. So I played that. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's what we call chaining combos. But you know what's ironic about this?
Yeah.
This is the same stuff that I know you say you don't like Xenoblade Chronicles, but it's that same feeling. It's the chaining of combos and doing stuff like that. So I think if you really, it's not the same gameplay. Understand that it's not the same gameplay, but if you are really getting into the strategy of that, I think you'll get into the strategy of Xenoblade Chronicles. Even though you're not swinging and hitting, but you're doing the same type of chaining combos with your team, and especially Xenoblade Chronicles X. I haven't played the new Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but it's that same kind of concept of chaining combos, like RPG elements and stuff.
Okay. Well, see, my thing with Chronicles or X Chronicles or Xenoblade X Chronicles and all that wasn't really the RPG strategic strategizing aspects. It was literally like the fact that when the character run up to a boss, it automatically starts swinging on its own. I don't control that, and I ain't know if I like it, you know. But if it's
That's
if it's like rabbits in a way that I'm literally just choosing what to chain together, I might. I don't know. I don't know. I have to check it out.
you don't. I don't think, from my memory, you don't have to hit anybody when you run up to them. Like I used to run through characters, not characters, but enemies. Like if I see a bunch of monsters over here, I would just keep running, and I will fight if I need to. If I'm like I need to level up, I'm gonna go ahead and fight. But you don't always have to do that. You can start. I think, especially on X, you can start off. I forgot how you start off, but you can start off using a big combo sometimes. So
Okay.
you don't have to. You can keep running. It ain't like the old school RPGs where you trying to run in the field and all of a sudden and it take you somewhere else and start fighting. No
Uh,
need, no need. You're not late.
Shoot, man, I got them like with Luigi and Mario, they got that what they call that sight vision, or like if a person move, I think Princess
Yeah,
Toadstool got it too. If a
yeah.
person move, they capping them right off top. Well, I got Luigi so powered up in that, I got him maxed out in that to where he do it 3 times in a row. So if he hits you, and then if I got all of them triggered, like if I got Princess Toadstool triggered, Mario triggered, and Luigi triggered, they whoever I'm hitting is dead after I'm done with. So, like one time I hit one of those, I don't know if they call crushers. They basically carry these big massive bricks on their back. They don't shoot nothing. They just when they get to you, they power up and then they smash you with whatever that I think they call smashers. Well, uh Princess Toadstool's gun pushes you. It has an element where when it hits you, it drives you, it forces you to move, right?
Hmm.
So I like I said, I'm really starting to get into the strategic aspect of the game. So I'm like, I've been going about this all wrong. And when I got to the place where I got stuck, is because I really wasn't developing the proper way of approaching these fights. I was just way more overpowered than anybody that I had faced up to that point. So what I did was I came in, I changed my gun, started reading the guns and what they actually do, and what and make like right now I got Mario with a gun that it shoots honey on you. So when it hits you, it causes you to lose mobility.
Hmm.
So what I would mess up with, Keith, is I would shoot Mario first. That took all the other train reactions out because I demobilized the person that I was shooting rather than hitting them with Princess Toadstool and hitting them with a force move that will make them move, that would trigger Mario and Luigi and then Princess Toadstool all to hit them like multiple times at one time. Now I'm all into it now. Like, oh, so now I realize how the smart way to play. I was kind of defeating myself because I really wasn't fully thinking it out. I was kind of just breezing through stuff and just so happened to have some people that was powerful enough to do it. Man, was I hit him with that combo and he got shot like 6, 7 times, man. Luigi shot him 3 times. I shot him with Princess Toadstool. Luigi shot him 3 times. Shot him 1 time. Mario shot him twice before he landed. And he was out of there.
Hey, you
So,
gonna make that Ubisoft developer cry again? He gonna be like, he understands my game.
yeah, man. So, but anyway, so I played that also, and I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and admit that I was wrong. I
Uh-oh.
downloaded. I mean, I got the Street Fighters 5, right?
Hmm. Uh-oh.
And they just came out with the arcade edition, and since I owned it already, I got it for free.
Okay.
So I downloaded it. First of all, let me say this, man. I was ready to crack my PlayStation in half. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I got home from work and I started downloading this update to get all this new stuff at literally 3:30. I didn't get a chance to play it to 12:30 a.m. That's literally how long it took to download 13 gigabytes.
13.
That's how big the download was, 13 gigs. And it took me literally half a day to do it. Now, my wife, like, so I'm sitting here, I'm mad, I'm upset. I'm played Mario plus Rabbids, I'm played everything I could play, thinking that it'd be done by the time I get through all this. So I begin to play. So I go through all the preliminaries, all the little what they tell you about the new updates and all the stuff, and all the stuff I had to accept and all this stuff. I finally get through all that crap. And how they got it broke down, Keith, is they got like 5 different arcade modes you can go through. You go through the first Street Fighters, the second Street Fighters. You can go through the third strike Street Fighters. You can go through, how it does it is it's kind of stupid because what they do is based on the characters that are in the actual Street Fighter V game. If they were in that game, then you fight against those characters, right? Mm-hmm. So, but what was weird about it, when I went through Street Fighters 1, Sagat wasn't the last boss. I fought Ken instead of Sagat. When I played with Ryu, I fought Ken for my last battle, and when I played with Ken, I fought Ryu. Well, I thought you fought Sagat at the end of that on the first one.
Wait, so these are Street Fighter V graphics, right?
Yeah, Street Fighter V graphics. It just, I'm gonna be honest, man. This game is what, 3 years old? Close to 2.5, 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when Red Knight said this game was trash. And I said what I said. I responded. I said, I don't know if we could call it trash. I remember that. I'm gonna go ahead and say this game is trash, man. If it took this long to get this feature, and even when they give it to you, it ain't even good. The game is literally, you can go to Walmart and buy Street Fighter V for like $10. It's trash, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and admit it. 3 years later, Level Head is going ahead and admit that Street Fighter V is trash, man.
You gotta go back and take that video down.
Yeah, I'm about to go back, man. It's like, dude, all this time we waited for you to give us an arcade mode, and you don't even do that great. I mean, it's really garbage. It's a sorry. I don't know how you blotch an arcade mode. How you make it just as uninteresting as the game itself is. And I'm playing through it, and I'm trying my best. It's not that Street Fighter. Let me understand why I'm saying it's trash. It's not trash because it's not a good game here. There's a good game that's just being poorly handled. Like Street Fighter V, as far as the mechanics, is a great game. Mm-hmm. It's probably one of the best Street Fighters ever made, far as how it plays when you fighting, the mechanics, the controls. Probably one of the best Street Fighters ever. I'll put it up there, probably a notch or two behind Third Strike. Mm-hmm. It's good, but it's so lackluster with everything that you do with the title. Just it's missing so much. But you guys like, man, this is horrible. This is like I wasted 3 years waiting on this game to give me a Street Fighters that I'm accustomed to. You better off playing the Street Fighters on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. That's going to give you a better experience than this Street Fighters. And I don't know if it was the exclusivity with Sony that messed it up. I don't know what messed it up, but
no, it's on PC too.
Huh?
It's on PC.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is on PC. I forgot about that, but I'm gonna be honest, Keith. I think Capcom intentionally sabotaged this game because of it being, far as the consoles, only on the Sony system.
I don't know. I think they just counted on everybody to go out and just buy it just because of the name. I feel like they felt that that Street Fighter name had enough weight to just carry over, but people wasn't having it. And I think it's the same way because didn't it like have like a very poor motto in the beginning? You had to like buy characters or something like that.
That's what I was going to go to next.
Yeah, you had
This
to
paying for character stuff is killing it too.
yeah. So it's like they're trying to redeem the game, but it's like you've already did the damage, and people have already moved on to other games, Tekken, and didn't they just come out with Marvel versus Capcom? Like, and then you
Yeah,
got
that flop too. That flop.
and then you got Injustice out there. You got all these other fighters and other things that you can play. It's like you messed up because you thought Street Fighter was just that game and people would buy it because of the name, and people showed you that they weren't interested because you didn't do what you were supposed to do up front. I call that the EA effect. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? That's the
right.
EA effect. Like, we screwed up. You should have just been straight up with everybody and like, hey, we're gonna delay the game because it's not ready.
But
Or
that
oh,
but
go ahead.
that's why I say I think Capcom, because if they would have put this on all platforms minus the Wii U, because it wouldn't have came to the Wii U, but if it would have put it on the Xbox, would have put it on the PlayStation, and would have put it on, of course, PC, I think we would have got a full game without all the paywall stuff. I think because it was only on the PlayStation 4 and I guess PC 2, they tried to make that money that they're probably losing for Xbox owners up with the pay wall characters and all that stuff, almost like what Microsoft did with Killer Instinct. That's what killed it. You had all these characters behind paywalls and behind seasons that it was like, what's the point of me? That's why I couldn't get into the game, because you had a whole nother season pack that cost $30 or something dollars to get to get 7 more characters. Where to me, that's not how you should do a fighting game. You should have these characters either accessible by beating the game and winning these characters like you traditionally do, or have all the characters there like Tekken does, where they're there from the get go of the game.
That's crazy though when you sit back and really think about that. Because yeah, I know on PC when I download, I think you download it for free, and the only person they give you was Jago, and I'm like, that's cool and all, but why do this? I would have you would have got me by saying if the game was like $40, I would have bought the game. But now I see the way you strategize and piece the game out to me. It's like I don't even want to play it now. I don't even want your free game. You know what I'm saying? That's how bad it is. If you're gonna do me like that, I don't even want it. And you're right. And I think that the all the seasons they were on sale, and I thought about it. And I was like, nah, it's the principle. You shouldn't have did me. You shouldn't have did us consumers like that in the beginning. So I don't know if that game failed, but I'm not interested. I'm not interested
Yeah,
in that pay to play and lock these characters behind. It's like I would be perfectly fine if you brought out some new characters and stuff like that and said, hey, here's the new characters. Either they're gonna be free or you're gonna make me pay for them. But you're gonna make me pay for every character. That's not cool, man.
dude, it was so crazy, man. When I went to the Street Fighter, which one was verse 3 or 4? I think it was Street Fighters 4 arcade mode. Dude, half the characters that were there accessible on like right now, I could go upstairs and put this game in my PlayStation. My son got the PlayStation 3 in his room. I can literally go up there and get his PlayStation 3 or get my PlayStation 3 out of his room, put Street Fighters 4 in there, and all the characters that's blocked out on my current game will be accessible and playable right there on Street Fighters 4.
That's ridiculous.
It's crazy. It's so retarded. And I was like, man, like who thought of this? Who and who's actually participating in actually buying this stuff? Because dude, if you like if I wanted to win the character, I would need like $100,000 in points on the game. Dude, I'm at like 20,000 points. It literally take me playing this game for hours, up on hours, just to get one character. But that through that system without paying any money, I would literally have to slave in this game to get a character. it's like, dude, instead of just winning and beating the game a few times and then another character show up that you can play through. So yeah, so I played that. Thought I was first. I was kind of like, oh, okay, here we go. Quickly realized that this was a waste of time, and it was 3 years, $59.99 that I wasted on a garbage game with great mechanics, but overall a garbage offering from Capcom that basically was a cash grab, and it wasn't really worth your money. So, but anyway, I played that, and that's been about it, man. I played a little LA Noir, and some cart, like I said, some cart. That's been about it. So, but anyway, we spent a lot of time on this. What you've been gaming on? So, you ready to get into this topic, bro? Y'all ready to go here?
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
So, Nintendo has been killing it with the announcements for the last 2 weeks. First, we got the Direct Mini. Now we got an announcement that was we was told to tune in for a grand announcement that was catered and targeting kids and kids in heart. And the next day, around, well, I guess my time would have been 4 p.m., we got the announcement of Nintendo Labo.
Hmm.
And what it is a new way of playing, an interactive way of playing with the Nintendo Switch and Joy Cons, really using the IR sensor on the Joy Cons and software on the Switch to interact with these. What they call that? What's the acronym that they use?
Talking about the toy cons.
No, for the contraption that you're building. They got an acronym for it when you build it, that type of thing. I can't think what they call it.
I thought it was toy con, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, they call it toy cons, but when you build stuff with your hands, they got an acronym that's for that they got with that. If you know what I'm talking about in the comment section, put it down in there, man, so I don't sound like a nut on here. But I'm gonna look it up. Self build something.
Do it yourself.
Do it yourself. Yeah, do it yourself. The DIY, is that what they call it?
Yeah.
So they have taken that concept of do it yourself and literally merged it with the Switch and the ideas around the Switch. And they use cardboard, of course you know it because you've seen it, and you build these contraptions with all these rubber bands and pulleys and different things. And once you built the contraption and you place the Switch and the IR Joy-Con in there, it literally brings that contraption to life to where you can interact with it, and it manipulates what's on the screen of the Switch from what you're doing in the real physical world with this contraption you just built out of cardboard. And it's called Nintendo Labo, or short for laboratory. What did you think, man? Like, give me your first thoughts on it.
When I when I first saw this, I completely missed. Like, I don't have a Twitter, so if Nintendo tweeted out that this is for the kids and kids at heart, meaning grown people, I completely missed that part. So when I watched it with a blank slate. Um, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, what is Nintendo doing? Oh, what? And I'm like, what are they doing? But then I started thinking, like, that's actually pretty smart. And I'm watching the whole thing and I'm just looking at the different contraptions and the giant robot thing. Immediately I thought about the Wii U tech demo, giant robot. I'm looking at the RC car, the piano, and I'm looking at all this stuff like, hey, this is actually pretty brilliant to basically make um, the Joy Cons, and like you said, it brings these cardboards to life. I remember when I first heard that there was going to be an announcement, I thought they were just going to simply do VR, and I think this kind of goes beyond VR. But even after watching it, even after being amazed and impressed by what Nintendo displayed, I walked away like, this is not for me. But then that, but then that's when I found out that it's specifically built for kids, and I was like, well, that makes sense. But I was like, this isn't for me. But the fact that it's something that you can do and that Nintendo is actually doing it with the Joy Cons. It's very forward thinking. It's like you said in the title, it's brilliant. It's sheer brilliance. Like, and I have to give them props and kudos for it. I hope it sells. I hope it works for them. Heck, I might even buy it for me and my son. You know, you never know. But again, it ain't for me. I can't see but then again, I don't know what the software is going to be like. If the software is compelling, then it may be interesting. But I just got to give Nintendo credit, and then I also got to give them credit. And I won't take up too much time.
No, you
I got to give them credit for when they announced it, because I believe this is something that they had on the design for when the Switch was still called the NX. But there is no way that they could have said this last year
no.
when they were trying.
Oh, glad you brought that because that's my point.
Yeah,
Go ahead, go on, finish your thought because I'm gonna add to it.
there's no way that they could have said this last year when the Switch was announced. I mean, was coming out, because it would have drove everybody away. So if you just look at the Wii U, how the Wii U came out, and no matter what anybody says, it had third party games, but Nintendo made sure that on the Switch that they had first party titles, whether it was ports or not. So now you got Nintendo titles, you got core third party games, you got indie games. So they made sure that they built their fan base and gave you the basics of the Switch, and now that Nintendo's going to show out. I think this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Right, and it's funny that you said that because I told you I had audio prepared for a video, and I end up feeling like, you know what, by the time I get this up and edit it, and I was too busy, I couldn't get to it like I wanted to. I just said I just talk about it on the podcast, and then I wasn't for sure if I was going to even make it to the podcast, but we here. First of all, let's deal with what you just said. They couldn't announce this. They couldn't have announced this last year because it would have derailed all the success of what they currently have. Nintendo, this is showing me that Nintendo has learned their lesson. This is something that I was driving in my earlier days on YouTube is perception. The problem with all the devices prior to the Switch was Nintendo thought that they could get all gamers by catering and focusing their attention on young kids and family. That's like we'll focus on the kids and family, but we'll pull all gamers to us because of our IP. So because of the power of Mario, because of the power of Zelda, because of the power of Metroid or Smash Bros. Or whatever else you want to name. And to a small extent, that was true, but it started to be strained by the perception of this is for kids. Mm-hmm. So when Nintendo spent the whole year, well, it ain't even been a full year, but all of 2017 focusing on the on-the-go commuting mid-adult millennial gamer, that's all they drove. They moved all the kids out of the picture. They said the Switch is for you 25-year-old, 24-year-old, 31-year-old commuting adult who works, who travels, who hangs out, who spends time with friends, but also likes to game. The Switch is for you. And they've made all these same people, listen to this, Keith, all the same people who said Mario is for kids, Zelda is for kids, Splatoon is for kids. All these games are for kids. When Nintendo switched up the marketing and said the Switch is for you, you traveling, commuting, on-the-go adult, they all went out and bought them same games exactly. That they said were for kids only because the message now the Switch is for you. So since these games are on the Switch, that means it's okay for me to play these games. So Nintendo has been very careful with how they marketed. All year they didn't do anything kid-like. All year of 2017, we went from Zelda Breath of the Wild, which was better positioned because I think if Odyssey would have been there, I don't think it would have been as appealing. I'll be honest to that audience. I think Odyssey came at the right time, and I said this a while ago when people were saying they should put Odyssey at the lunch and push Zelda off. I was like, no, the appeal of Zelda is now, and it appeals to a broader audience than Mario would, far as maturity, than Mario would. And they should put Mario where they have it and keep Zelda where it is. Anyway, Zelda drew people in, the open world, and then the Switch and the commuting and the going drew all these adults in, all these people who swore off the Wii U and was tired of Nintendo, went out and bought a Switch and bought all those games that they hated on the Wii U. So the Switch is successful, right? It's successful. Then Nintendo comes into 2018 and they specifically say that we're making an announcement and it is for kids. Like, it's like they just flipped everything, where back in the day they used to say this is for mature gamers. They were trying to get the mature gamers to focus in. Now they have done such a good job of making the Switch a mature adult traveling person, commuting person. Now they have to say, we haven't forgot about you kids. So they curate this device. And when I first was, go ahead, what'd you say?
Okay, let's pause right there. Let's say that one more time for everybody that I saw hating this. I can't believe Nintendo. It's for kids. It's not for you. If you want to play it, it's there. It's for Nintendo said it first. They said it before you could even say it. It's for kids. Stop hating. Go ahead.
Right. It's for kids. So when they made sure, because they know us, they know this community, they know gamers. And what I'm really starting to realize is, and I said it to you privately, and I'm not saying we as in me and you, but I'm grouping us all together. Dude, we are some selfish, impatient, immature adults.
Yep.
Because we have had a whole year of nothing but for us. Everything has been for us. Nintendo has not made one bad move with the Switch. They didn't bring out one game that would make you say, wait a minute, man, that's too. Everything that they brought out was catering to the core gamer. Yeah, it was Nintendo core titles, but even they threw in some stuff that you wouldn't even see on the Switch, like LA Noire, Doom, Skyrim. Yes, these are old games, but they're highly touted games that at the same time were also being redeveloped for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. It wasn't like these games were so removed and there was no revisions or remasters for other platforms around the same time frame. These games also got remastered and re-released on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One too a few months back. So it made sense. So all 2017, Keith, that's all we got was games catered to my maturity. And then you had to sprinkle in stuff. But all this stuff was the same stuff was on the Wii U that everybody said was childish and baby with the gimmicky gamepad. Every game that you playing on your Switch, for the most part, is those games. Minus what? Splatoon 2 is Splatoon. Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. You can play Breath of the Wild on the Wii U too. But Odyssey is not on the Wii U. Orms is not on the Wii U. And what else?
Mario Rabbids.
Mario Rabbids is not on the Wii U. But these are all games that fit into the same type of game that people were calling kiddie, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody's calling Mario 3D World kiddie. Mario Odyssey Mario 3D World was good. It was a Mario game, you know.
That game didn't end.
Yeah. So let's keep going. So when I was watching it, when I first saw the little flat things coming out of the thing, and I saw the little box, I knew what that was because I worked in the factory. So I was like, oh, that's going to cut out a design in this cardboard. Okay, what's going on here? So when it started landing, started lining up, and then all of a sudden you started to see them pop out the cardboard. And I'm like, cardboard, like, what is Nintendo doing? You know, like, where is this going, man? So when he built the piano, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, Nintendo, what you doing? But when he stuck that switch in that slot and he stuck that Joy-Con in the side and he hit the key and it made a sound, I'm like, what the heck? Okay, this must be just for the commercial. This can't be literally happening, because it got me to thinking, like, how is it doing that, right? Like, how is this thing making a key sound based on cardboard? So then the next picture was the fishing rod.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, the fish. I'm like, what? Okay, what the fish? What's this? And then the next picture was the little bug-like thing with the Joy-Cons all on the side. I'm like, what is Nintendo doing? So, but I'm not gonna lie. Like you said, it wasn't appealing to me as an adult. But I got to thinking, if I was a 7, 8, 9-year-old kid, this will be flipping me out.
Dude, think about how we used to play. We used to run around with sticks and all these different things, and like they're basically bringing toys to life. We used to run around
Right.
with swords, acting like we was punching like big robots and stuff like that. They're
But
doing it.
they going a step farther. Keith, they going a step farther. And I was like, people are not thinking how genius. That's why I said this is brilliance out the box. People are not really looking at what Nintendo is doing. You got to think classroom. You can't think home. Don't think in the comfort. You got that. Yeah, you got your living room upstairs. You know what my mind went to? I can see teachers in science classes across America and other countries buying up these Labo boxes and having a day where they sit down and do projects based on this technology, teaching you how stuff works. Nintendo is like, dude, I was like, so my imagination was like, Nintendo has literally took the Fisher Price section in the store, in some kind of way merged it with the Switch. This is something that you would normally find in the arts and craft for kids or people who like to build stuff at a Hobby Lobby or in a Sears somewhere or Target somewhere, a Walmart in these craft areas of the store, like puzzles and Uno and where you play all the games that you find these type of stuff there that you can build stuff with the Legos. Nintendo has managed to take that craftiness of that, the creativity of that, and put technology that really advances it beyond that to where, like, dude, I can literally see my 7-year-old. Let me say this and I'll give it to you. I can literally see my 7-year-old daughter in her classroom at her elementary, sitting with her fellow students, sitting down, building that little bug-like thing with the two Joy-Cons on the side and literally learning how to maneuver and then like the arms and the piano, like in a music class, how the piano works. Nintendo is really, this is genius, dude. This is genius. Go ahead.
But I was just gonna say this. Although I do agree with you, and like it can be definitely a great group project, the only problem is there needs to be software associated with it. Other than that, it's just a cardboard box with a Nintendo Switch and Joy-Con sitting on it without the software to make it actually work. And I know they're not gonna. I don't know if Nintendo's gonna actually give you the ability to make software for it. So that's where I have a little pause because they got to bring the software for it.
What I'm saying is, because I'm talking to one of my friends that's in Nashville. His son, I don't know if they're doing it here in my town, but they learning how to make code in the like 5th grade. They learned how to make code for video games.
Mm-hmm.
So like Nintendo, okay, with this could just be the beginning. We don't know where Nintendo going with this, but we know that this is Nintendo. If they throw this ideal out here, they have thought like at least 5 more steps beyond this, that they just got to throw this out there to see if anybody bite the hook. If it catches on, then they'll take it farther with it. The software, to me, when I was looking at the video, they clearly got software for these these five. I think it's in the one box. There's five different contraptions that you can make, and then in the other box is the robot. Well, we know that the robot is basically Miyamoto's. What you said the game earlier.
A giant robot.
Yeah, we know that that's basically giant robot reworked to work alongside of this new idea, this new concept with Nintendo Labo. So, and the stuff like when the kid bent over and on the screen, the robot like a transformer transformed into like a car or something, almost like Xenoblade. Them those what are them robots in Xenoblade X Chronicles.
The scales.
Like so, the software is there, so I can literally see a classroom, and as Nintendo build on this, literally having switches in there and building some of these things in their classroom, like building that piano in the music room, and then learning how the key stroke work and how sound is made from the if you know anything about piano, from the actual wiring and the way it's tuned to do that type of stuff. Like this stuff really, I don't think we really thinking like Nintendo really thinking about this. We thinking too shallow. Like
But that's
this. Go ahead.
but that's what I was saying. And yeah, the piano is a percussion instrument for all of those people who don't know.
Yeah.
Uh, no, but what I'm saying is Nintendo's going to give you the software for the things that Nintendo's going to make. But I'm saying if the kids are going to go out and make their own stuff, where is the software associated to that? Now, if they were to make something like um, a Mario Maker type of thing, if they take Mario Maker design elements and where you're able to make different stuff, like I'm gonna make this box into I don't know, a domino effect or something. I don't know. I'm just trying to make up something. I'm not that creative. But and then you can actually build your own software. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I know, and like some of the people in the chat are already saying, I know that there's software associated because we wouldn't have saw it on the screen. But I'm just saying like how, and like you said, they just touching this just the surface. But I just want to know how beyond are they gonna unleash the shackles and let the kids just go free?
That I don't. I know they did say this, that you can. They said you can basically create your own variations to what they built, what they got there. So, like I said, Nintendo got to be thinking, okay, if the ideal is to get kids to be, especially creative kids who like to work with their hands, who think outside the box, and they giving you tools to not just make what they have made, but also alter it in ways. I guess there's software there. I guess the software accounts for even alterations to what they have made. So I don't know. Like you asking an interesting question. I don't know how to technically answer it, because like you said, it won't work without the software. So Nintendo will have to create something that allows the kid to also dabble in the software side of it, which look at Mario Maker. We don't know where Nintendo can go with this if it catches on. Like, dude, I kid you not, man. I see the brilliance in what Nintendo is doing and the way that they separated it from the main understanding of the Switch. They didn't allow this to be a part of what we have come to understand about the Switch. So you can accept this on the side without it interfering with what the Switch is from its core and its base. Whereas back in the day, Nintendo would have been gung-ho to show this, and it would have shaped the whole narrative around the Switch. It's just smart. It's smart business, dude.
I hope they do like some bundles because like if my son, like I would love to do it with him, but I don't want him doing it on my Switch. I'm sorry, he's gonna have to get his own Switch so he can mess that up. But that would be cool if they did like bundles and just made it the original price, because I think Yeah, I would just do with the original. Well, maybe a little bit more, but that'd be cool. If they did it with bundles. I think that'll sell like crazy. I don't what they call it, Nintendo Labo with the Switch. Man, that'd be crazy.
But let's think about this. And Nia brought it up, and I was going to, but she said it, and then it's something that Cornelia said. Well, let me make sure it was Cornelius who said it. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so first of all, we already see, and Nia kind of keeping informing us on some of this. We're already seeing how it's doing, how it's being received, because it's like shot up on the charts on Amazon. At one time, it was like trending higher, but I think it'll settle at number 4 on Amazon right now for pre-orders and stuff. So, and I like how Nintendo didn't make you wait a long time for it. Like this is going to be here literally in 3 months.
I mean, it's cardboard, Yeah,
What I'm saying
I'm
is,
messing with
even in that, dude, they getting this out pre E3.
you. True.
So Nintendo must be in a position where they're confident that this ain't a big enough announcement that they need to make an E3. And it's like, I don't know. So you got that. Then you got to look at the fact that, like you said, this might be a small sample size, like what Cornelius is saying, but also this is really debuting what the IR sensor, like, dude, we didn't think we didn't take it this far. Like, we really don't understand the depth of technology it takes for them to make a box with some rubber bands, and the IR sensor can determine between each band when one is pulled or a keystroke, what key to put there.
Yeah.
Like,
That's really
that's
amazing.
crazy, huh?
I said that's really amazing. But now, when you sit back and think about it, remember when the Switch was first announced, and then the accessories were announced, and everybody was making fun, talking about the price or whatever. Now you see why it's priced that way, because there's a lot of people said it. There's a lot of technology inside of these little Joy Cons. Like,
Right,
we wrote them off. But actually, if you go back and listen to some of us, and even shout out to Nia and her crew, we was coming up with some great ideas for the Joy Cons, but we were just thinking in terms of gaming. We weren't thinking in terms of like a teaching method. We weren't teaching like, can you imagine walking into a class and a teacher has a Joy-Con in her hand and she's doing something on the board with the Joy-Con, a Nintendo Joy-Con?
right.
That'll
Dude,
blow my mind.
it go back to what you said in a you sent me a article about Miyamoto and how they target game developers for their studios. And
Yeah,
one of the things was they target people who are not gamers to develop their games. Like, to be a part of their studios, they target people who don't play games and really have no real interest or follow. They don't even follow games. And sometimes these games that we are playing are developed by people who are non-gamers. And this is how you get this. Because I'm just gonna be honest, a game minded developer would not have thought of Nintendo Labo.
no,
Some engineer that might have got a job at Nintendo, but he's an engineer. He builds things, or he a designer. That's who thought of this. This ain't a game person. This ain't a person who want to make Mario run around in 3D. This is a person who does 3D rendering and develop stuff, like people who do the drawings and the design for cars and do the design for robots at Procter and Gamble, or different things on how the line works. Somebody with that type of mind came up with this. I'm gonna let you talk because I got a call real quick. But go ahead.
yeah. So basically, the article that I sent Levelhead, it was basically talking about how Miyamoto goes out and he finds people who are not gamers. Kind of like if you just think about the Pikmin, how Pikmin came about, and he was like said he was walking in this garden, and the game aspect of it is going to come. in my opinion. It's like that's going to come, but it's like, where's the inspiration? And if all you got are people who are fans of Nintendo like us, like we're just huge fans, and we're gonna say we want to make a Zelda game like this, or we want to make a Mario game like this, that's there. But where's your true inspiration? Where's your true thing that's gonna push this game beyond what we've already done? Nintendo can pump out several Mario games in 1 year if they wanted to, but it's like, where is the true inspiration to take it to the next level? You back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, okay. But yeah,
Go ahead, I'm
uh,
listening.
I definitely agree with Miyamoto. At first, I was like, huh? Why would he want to, But level, you're right. It's like, the people who don't play games. What it's kind of like, the people who don't play games. How can we get them interested? Let's go talk to people who don't play games and see what they would want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because if we keep staying in our little bubble, we're never going to see things like toy cons and Labo and stuff like that. You have to branch out and see what these other experiences are, that people can bring to the table. Zelda's going to be there. Mario's going to be there. Donkey Kong is going to be there. But who can take it to the next level is the thinking behind Miyamoto. And I think once he leaves, I think Nintendo's going to be in a great shape, because I said something crazy, but it was like, once a great leader leaves or dies, the people don't panic. Nintendo's not going to panic because of the things that he's instilling in them. The games are going to be there, but who's going to take that imagination and run with it?
Right, and going a step farther, people are kind of talking about the whole it's cardboard boxes, but I don't think people see the genius in that. It costs too much. 69.99, 70, 50, 69.99. Another one is what, 79.99, or is it?
I haven't
Yeah,
actually seen
yeah,
the
yeah,
price, but I think it's 79.99.
yeah. One is 70 and one is 80 when it's all said and done. But it's like 59.99 of that is the software, it's the game itself. And then you're paying $10 more for the cardboard that builds whatever the device you particularly bought. But the genius part of this is, let's say a kid who built this contraption trips and falls, or accidentally stumbles on it and tears up his let's say the piano. He messes it up. Nintendo is providing the to where you can download and literally buy your own boxes and rebuild it for free.
Right,
And then if you got the software, Nintendo just happened to sell the actual cardboard cutouts, it's cheap. Whereas if you had all this plastic, it probably would cost way more money.
hmm
So it's like, actually the consumers is getting out better, because you don't even, if you can, I'm pretty sure they have provided to where you can download this game. I'm pretty sure it ain't just gonna be physical. You can just download it in the eShop and buy your own cardboard.
Now, Nia said it's, you get the cardboard for free. So I'm assuming that if you mess it up, you can get another one for free. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. I want to
Oh,
say from that
I
Cornelia.
got the wrong then. So
Uh,
it ain't where you can download a template and make you and get your own cardboard and cut it out yourself.
I mean, I don't know. You probably could.
Okay, all right, okay. I thought that's what they was doing, but okay, if she's saying that they'll send you a whole nother kit for free, that's dope. That's dope.
I
Go
want to
ahead though.
say, Cornelius said something. He said, I know a guy, he bought the Switch when it came out. All he thought was on it was Breath of the Wild. Remember that? It only got one game. It only got one game. And he said he sold it. And he showed him this today, and he's talking about buying another one. I mean,
Yeah, I saw that.
it's like, you gotta. Nintendo just didn't say, "Hey, here's Breath of the Wild. This is all we're gonna do." You knew that they were coming out with stuff. Like when they did that demonstration, and somebody has already said it, the little scissors and stuff like that, and the
Uh-huh.
HD Rumble. You knew they had bigger plans, but they didn't reveal. They didn't show all their cards, and that's what killed me about when people were talking so bad about the Switch at first. All it has is this game, or wait, they're working on stuff. They just showed you this technology that you know that they're going to use. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, it's a portable console right out the box. That right there alone is worthy. You know what I'm saying? So just I don't know. So
They
I hope that guy buys another Switch though.
got well, they like you said, they got some crazy, innovative, forward thinking. They taking gaming into a whole nother space. Like, dude, I was listening to all the people who were predicting what this would be. Some was saying it's the virtual console, which we're gonna get to that conversation here in a second. Some was saying, oh, they just finna introduce the virtual console. But it's like I'm like, the virtual console is for kids. Like, that don't make any sense. Uh and it's not that's not a new way to play. So we knew it was gonna be some type of device, but we were looking for an actual device.
Hmm.
Whereas is it ain't I don't even know if you can call it a device or I don't know what you call it. But Nintendo is literally taking gaming and putting it into a whole nother space. And it's like, dude, they thinking so far out the box. This is toy. This is like a real for real toy. This is a toy, not like Amiibo, but it's a toy that you build and you play with like a real toy. And it just so happened to take advantage of the Switch. And it's really showing how far you can go with the Switch. You couldn't do this with a PlayStation 4. You couldn't do this with an Xbox One. You couldn't do this with none of the other devices out there. The Switch can play your video games, and the Switch can become a toy on the floor, interactive with your kid in the front room. The
Right.
Switch can become a project at school for the classroom. Like, dude, it's like, it's amazing to me. Like, I don't even know what Nintendo can come with next. And yes, it's cardboard. But that's the genius of it. They took something as simple as cardboard and literally made you take notes. Take notes, everybody that think Nintendo is a joke. Take notes, everybody that said Nintendo ain't innovative. Take notes, everybody that's clowning. Because it's like, dude, you don't see the genius in it. It's like, dude, wait till your kid at school. Mom, we built this fishing pole at school and we learned how a fishing rod worked and we used the Switch to do it. Because that's what they're gonna teach you, how a fishing pole works, the tension on the card and all that. I guarantee you that's what they teach you with the fishing pole, how it works.
Nintendo like
Yeah.
Nintendo like, oh, that box you finna throw away? Let me get that. I can do something with that.
Right. A lot of people saying these cardboard cutouts were made from all the unsold Wii U boxes.
Oh, come on, come on.
Oh, they was
Probably
being
right.
cold.
You're probably right.
They was being cold. Anyway, uh, so yeah, I think Labo is a cool idea, very Nintendo like, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm considering buying one just just to try it out with my daughter, with my little girls. Yeah, they might break it. Yeah, they might. And I'm like you, Keith. I don't know if I can really let them touch my Switch, but I think I'm going to buy it. And can you imagine the collectors? Dude, just think about this. Nintendo is scratching a lot of itches here. Could you imagine like Lego collectors, those people that that collect all the different Lego boxes and put them together, and then like man caves with dudes who got all things Nintendo in their man cave. Can you imagine it when you watching YouTube? These dudes will have all these different Labo box cutout contraptions, all in the background of buying each one that Nintendo makes. Like, this can become its own thing, its own side hustle that people who like to work with their hands, who like to build stuff like those people who like to build Lego blocks into the Star Wars ships, and then they glue it together to make sure it stay like that. This is going to intrigue that type of kid and that type of adult. this will intrigue them. It's smart, man. It's a
What
whole new group of people that you would never think to target from a gamer's perspective. And Nintendo just figured out a way to target that dude and that kid.
what a lot of adults don't realize though, they like to make fun of it and point fingers and talk about Nintendo. Yeah, they may have missed the brilliance, but they also got to understand sometimes you just got to unwind. Sometimes you need a break. Your brain needs to take a break. Sometimes it ain't always about killing the next or killing 50 people on the screen. Sometimes you just need to, for me anyways, just to mellow out and do something artsy fartsy like this. You know what I'm saying? Like you could literally take these Labo things and just take your time, build it, and just do something with your hands. Like I'm not even talking about kids no more. I'm talking about adults. You know what I'm saying? You get off from work, you stressed out, you tired, you might not want to do this, but then again, it could be something that just takes you away. This is your thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's very important. What mental health is what they call it. It's very important that you take time to yourself and just do something. You don't always got to be on the go. You ain't always got to be, just doing something. And I'm quoting here, air quotes, adult like. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can
Right,
just kind of mellow out because some people, their thing is they're gonna go read a book. Some people draw. This could be your thing, and you didn't even
right.
know.
And the crazy thing too, to add to what you just said, is man, I'm noticing too, man, that a lot of people that was not tripping off the Wii U is buying Switches. Like my boy just called me. I was telling you, King Cooper. That's the dude I used to play with on the PlayStation 4. He hit me up about a week and a half ago. It's like, man, I'm thinking about buying a Switch. I'm like, what? Why? He's like, I don't know. I'm just thinking about buying one. So he hit me up today. It's like, did I tell you I got the Switch? I was like, no, bro, you told me you was thinking about getting one. No, no, not today. He didn't hit me up today. He hit me up, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. He's like, did I tell you I got the Switch? I was like, no. I said, you told me you was thinking about getting one. He's like, yeah, I got it. I was like, okay. I said, what games you get? He said, I got Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I was like, oh, I said, what you think so far? He said, man, I'm loving it. Now, this is a dude who thought I was crazy for liking the Wii U. But something about the Switch switched his opinion about Nintendo.
I
I
see what.
know I'm playing on the words, but so he said so yesterday. I was like, well, you got to send me your username, and I forgot that Nintendo doesn't let you use your username to find a person. I was like, wait a minute, no, you got to send me your friend code. So instead of him sending me his, I said, here. I sent him my friend code. I said, find me and send me a friend request, and I'll befriend you. And he did that last night. So we supposed to get on because him and his wife was playing Mario Kart 8. So he wanted to get on and get it in on Mario Kart 8. And it's like, dude, this is what the Nintendo Switch is doing. It's causing casual but adult leading gamers to buy in when they wrote off this Wii U. And now I can't even say this is targeting with the Labo. They're targeting casuals. They're targeting builders. They're targeting the next generation of engineers.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole other demographic of people, and we ain't even got to what's going to get the casual. Because I'm pretty sure we're going to get something like a Wii Sports or some iteration like that for the Switch that's going to take advantage. I just don't think they figured out how to replicate to duplicate the responsiveness of what the Wii Mote did. Once they figure out how to get the Joy-Con to be that responsive, we'll get them. We're gonna get a Me Sports. You notice I said Me Sports, not Wii Sports. We gonna get it.
You
But
know,
I think this down the road when they figure out how to get the Joy-Con a little bit more accurate in that type of space.
I don't
No.
I don't even think it's that. I think they got to figure out when is the right time to announce it. I think they already got it. I think this toy kind of thing was their day one. They could announce. I think they could announce this the time we were still calling it the NX if they wanted to. I think it's just a
Oh,
matter of
okay.
when. Because you got to think about it. They just didn't make the Joy Cons overnight. They already had this planned out well in advance. So they've already been thinking about a lot of things you can do with it. Nia mentioned VR, and we mentioned VR a long time ago too. With we was thinking like Metroid Prime 4. You put the VR thing on there, and you got the Joy
Yeah,
Cons. Like I feel like they've already thought about this. It's just a matter of when to announce it. It's like you look at that 2017 March year, their fiscal year, um, how they were slowly trickling things out, and you already said it. We gotta get these people on board. Let's make sure we have a game every month. These games, these are ports. A lot of these games are ports. They could have dropped this all in 1 month. So Nintendo was just slowly spacing everything out. That Me Sports that you think is going on the way, they already got it. It's just now it's not the right time to talk about it.
I agree. And the only reason I was saying the Joy Cons because I noticed with the Joy Cons that without that sensor bar like the Wii U and the Wii had, it tends to get off. If I don't know if you noticed that. That's why I was saying.
I tried it with arms. It didn't work 1-to-1 like I thought.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, they might have haven't figured out how to get the Joy-Con to duplicate what the sensor bar. And I'm pretty sure they got a remedy for it or something, but that's what I was saying. But you might be right. They might have already figured all that stuff out. Now it's just when to roll it out to where they don't disrupt the momentum that they have built with the Switch, because they've been doing it right. And I think this announcement was at the right time, at the top of the year, made sure that they specified that this is for kids. So any one of these crying adults, these crying man-childs, man babies, or whatever you want to call them, they pacifiers, even when they start crying, they can always say, but we said it was for kids. We never said it was for you. We didn't just drop this announcement and show you this and then give you any indication of who it was targeting. We told you before you saw it. So you came in with the understanding this is for kids. This ain't for you. So if you're crying after you watch it, then the problem is with you, because we told you this ain't for you. Now, if it's a 7-year-old crying about it, then we can try to figure out what we missed. But if it's a 27-year-old crying about it, then something wrong with the 27-year-old. So, yeah, man. So, but anyway, let's move on. So, and we can end on this. I heard something interesting on a podcast that we and you favor and listen to a lot, where they were talking about the backwards compatibility of the Xbox and how Microsoft does backwards compatibility, and how it's even though the Xbox hasn't been doing great, it's one of the standout features of the Xbox, and they doing backwards compatibility right. But the person said an interesting thing that made me want to talk to you, and I thought everybody else would be here, but it's just me and you. He said, even though Xbox does it right, he said, I don't care about old generation games on the Xbox nor the PlayStation. He said, all I really care about when it comes to old games is Nintendo games. So he said, if you're not giving me the retro titles from Nintendo, I'm pretty much not going back to play it. Because he said, I don't care about the classics on the Xbox and PlayStation. And that made me think, like, I really never thought about it, but I was just upstairs and they just dropped, I don't know if you noticed this in the eShop, they just dropped the original Double Dragon, the arcade version. They got the arcade archives. They just dropped the original Double Dragon arcade version in the eShop. And I was like, I got to go out and get $10 so I can buy this game. And I'm like, we do that with Nintendo games and games from that era, but we don't do that with games from the PlayStation 1 and on. I don't notice anybody that care to play them games. If they're going to play it, you see the NES Mini, you see the Super NES Mini, they sell like hotcakes. I don't think a PlayStation 1 Mini would do that. I want to get your thoughts on this. Like, was the dude tripping? Do you feel like he had a point? Or What do you think? Go ahead. We can end on this.
All right. So since you said Double Dragon, I'm pretty sure D2K is turning over in his grave right now. I'm just kidding. That was a play on words because he does retro game. D2K is like the retro gamer here.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna have to disagree with him, and only because I can only speak from my own experience. I'm not going to buy these games from Nintendo until I know that my money is serving me. You know what I mean? Because I bought these games. I bought these games on the Wii when they had Virtual Console. I bought them again, some of them on the Wii U, and it's like I'm not gonna do it again. And even before then, I bought some games when they re-released them, even on GameCube and stuff like that. And several times on I had a DS and a Game Boy Advance. So those games were re-released. So I've bought these games multiple times. I understand what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? It's like I just said, I bought these games multiple times, meaning clearly I like playing these games. So I understand the sentiment behind it. But for me personally, I never owned the PSX or PlayStation 1 for the younger crowd. Um, I never owned one. I played the PlayStation 2. I never owned one. So if Sony was to come out and say, hey, here are these games from our past, yada yada yada, I would consider them, not saying I would buy, but I would consider because those games were ugly. Uh
That this plays into a it plays. Go
Those
ahead.
games were atrocious, but I would consider it. But I definitely understand what he's saying. The Nintendo games, or just the games that were on the Nintendo platforms back in the day, they stand the test of time. Those games can still be played to today. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Whereas the PlayStation games and maybe even the PlayStation 2 games, the frame rates are too low. Even the N64, the frame rates are too low. They would have to do something to make it better, to improve it, which I think they will. They would. Nintendo wouldn't. Nintendo's gonna give it to you how they gave it to you. They're not improving nothing. Um, but yeah, I definitely like the way Xbox is doing it. If everybody can do it the way Microsoft is doing it, I think everybody would be happier about it because I love the way they're doing it. Um, because like D2K, he was mentioning some game that he was playing on the 360 and booted it up on the Xbox One and picked up right where he left off. That's how you do backwards compatibility. They're taking advantage of the actual digital age. And if Nintendo can jump on board with that and not make us buy these games over and over and over again, then yeah, they can get my money. But until then, I'm gonna have to disagree. But I also agree at the same time. Huh.
I'm gonna answer this question from Cornelius. Said, what y'all think about Xbox releasing the OG Xbox controller? I didn't like that controller then, and nostalgia definitely ain't gonna get me to want it now. You know what I'm saying? Like that controller was horrible. Them hard, crispy, hard brick buttons that they had on it, the overly wide, spacious handles. I mean, that was too big for American standards. I know that the
Wait, wait,
controller was designed for, I guess, American sized hands or Western sized hands, but
what they
the
gonna do?
old Xbox controller was horrible.
What they
So
gonna do
no,
with the white and black button?
I don't know. I have no idea. But I'm gonna say, man, I agree with you on the fact that Nintendo needs to stop taking abusing those who have patronized them with these games on other platforms. This stuff should cross over. Meaning, if you bought the original Mario game for the NES on the Wii, it should have crossed over to the Wii U and now to the Switch or whatever other device you had. Maybe I'll give a caveat for having to buy it again on the 3DS, but or the DS and separating those two from each other from the home console. But I feel like if you bought anything on the Wii Virtual Console, it should cross over to your. You should be able to send it over to your new device.
Man,
You know that I believe in that. But I do agree with what Paris was saying is the fact that I have no interest at all for the most part. There's a few games that stand outside of this space that I would go back and play on the PlayStation 1 or Xbox One OG, I mean, and all that. But for the most part, most of those games on those systems, I have no desire to go back and play at all because of one of the things you mentioned, how ugly they are, how they ran. Like, dude, matter of fact, I put in, and this was on the Wii. I went, when Zelda Twilight Princess, the remaster version came out for the Wii U. I was like, I'm not going to buy the remaster version when I got Twilight Princess already on the Wii. I just play it again on the Wii. So I put it in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And quickly turned it off. Like, this is ugly. Like, it looked like the graphic was just melting on the screen. It's like, dude, these like the colors blending and kind of bleeding over into other colors. The vegetation looked like literal melted green paint. It was just weird. It was like, this was a hideous looking game. And now it looks bad compared to when we first played it. So I just don't have no connection. And second, I don't have no connection to a lot of those games on the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, Xbox OG. No real connection. Like, and the weird thing to me, Keith, is Nintendo's NES, Super NES titles, and then the arcade games at that time still, for some kind of reason, resonates with people and kids and teens who never played them. It still some kind of way connects to them. It's amazing how the original Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man, which was out in the 80s when we were kids, can be in the eShop and a 10, 11-year-old kid to buy that game and then don't know nothing about it, but some kind of way they connect to it. Whereas the same can't be said for if you wanted to play the original Tekken. You wouldn't buy it. It's garbage. Why? Why buy the original Tekken when you can play Tekken 7? Like when with Capcom releasing this Street Fighter's anniversary. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm only buying it for Third Strike. I don't want to play the original Street Fighters. I remember how horrible that game was, I don't need to play Street Fighters 2 again. I don't care to play that. If you didn't have Third Strike on there, it would not be getting bought. And Third Strike is just one of the it's basically the best Street Fighters ever made, and is akin to like a Mario, Super Mario 3 or Super Mario World on Super NES. That's where Third Strike ranks with a Street Fighter title. So I don't know. It's something about Nintendo and that era. I'm not just saying Nintendo because a lot of them titles were on the NES, but they weren't made by Nintendo, like Capcom's Mega Man and all them titles from that era, like Double Dragon and Streets of Rage. It's just something about the Sonic Mania. It's just something about them titles that, just like you said, just stand the test of time, and they never get old. They never feel broken. They never feel dated. They play just as good as they played then now. And you can't say that from, I would say, the N64 up. Not all them titles play good. You play it now, it's horrible. So, yeah, I think the Virtual Console on Nintendo shines brighter than any other because of the era. I think that was just a golden era of games.
Can I say something? You mentioned Sonic Mania. Man,
Yeah.
I had a dream I was playing Sonic Mania and I was enjoying myself. I had to wake up. I was like, no.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, listen to me. You thought I think I'm joking. One of the best 1999 I spent on the Wii, on the Switch.
No, I'm not doing it.
Man, it's dope. It's a good game, man. It's a good game. A kid, you're not a good game.
But that was the golden era. And if you look at like indie games now, they're trying to resurrect that. And that's why a lot of indie games are so good. Because they're trying to resurrect and bring back that spirit or that essence that we had back in the SNES days, um, and the NES days, the Sega Genesis and all those games. It's just something about the 3D games where we were just figuring out how to get into the 3D gaming, and even on to, well, I would say just the PlayStation One. I'm gonna throw the Sega Saturn in there too, and the N64. They were
Uh,
still trying to figure it out. I think by GameCube, PlayStation, Dreamcast, they kind of had a good take on it, but the technology wasn't there. So I would
yeah.
say from that era moving forward, just that N60. What was that? What would that be? The fourth, fifth gen, fifth gen,
Let me see.
sixth
Super
gen is game.
NES, Super NES, PlayStation. No, 64,
That's fifth gen, I think.
PlayStation. So and then it'd be either fifth or sixth.
I
I think
think
it's one. I think it's fifth. If you saying it's GameCube, Xbox. Yeah, I think that's a sixth gen, fifth or sixth gen. Because the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 is seventh. So the
would be six.
GameCube, Xbox, and PlayStation 2 got to be sixth gen.
So the fifth gen was
Yes.
the growing pains of the video game industry, in my opinion. And I, like you said, I wouldn't want to go back and play that. Man, everybody talking about no 32X. But now, it was GoldenEye. Everybody holds GoldenEye up there, man. If you go back and play GoldenEye, you're going to break the N64 controller. It's
Yeah.
just that bad. You don't want to play that.
Perfect Dark is another one.
Perfect Dark. You don't want to play those games. But that 6 gen moving forward, I would love to see, if not some remakes, maybe we can go back and get some of those games. Uh and I know somebody gonna say, what about all those classic Nintendo games on the N64? No, they were, but I'm just saying like overall. Um but yeah, but if Nintendo's gonna do it, they gotta do it like Microsoft. They gotta adopt that. Who did they buy? Not buy, but who did they working with? Partner with DM. I don't know why I want to say DMX.
Who you talking about? Nintendo?
Yeah, uh,
Uh,
DNA.
DNA. Yeah.
Yeah, they got to work with them and try to figure out how to get that working like that. Because I refuse to just buy that game and just have that game, and then Switch 2 come out and I gotta buy that game again. Not
I
doing it.
agree. I think that's something Nintendo need to fix. Let me say this real quick. Aries 73, I agree. They do need to, if they release the original Ninja Gaiden, it will be over for me. Uh but now to me, the N64 does it has classics, yes. But but I don't want to go back and play most of them games. That's why when Nintendo re-release a lot of them games, they remaster them. Like you got Mario, when Mario 64 was re-released, I think they kind of touched it up a little bit. When Star Fox 64 was re-released, they touched it up. Zelda Ocarina of Time, they touched it up because if you was playing the original one when they re-released it, you wouldn't have stayed playing it because it looked good for the time that it came out because we had never seen nothing like that. But once your eyes see a generation or two beyond that, you can't go back and look at them block shapes of Mario and want to play that.
But hey, but
You
guess
don't
what?
want to. Oh,
Guess
go ahead.
but guess where they touched them up at? The 3DS. You got your
Right.
Zelda, your Majora's Mask, Mario. No, Mario 64 was DS because I had it. The Mario 64 DS and you had all those extra characters. So they touched all those games up on the handheld games. So anybody who had the 3DS or DS, they enjoyed all of those N64 games and some GameCube games on those consoles with better graphics, but they didn't bring it to the console like I thought they should have, you know, or I wanted them to bring them over. So I mean, you go back and look at Zelda Ocarina of Time versus the 3DS one, you wouldn't even want to touch the Nintendo 64.
Right. Right. Once you see the improvements, and you see the improvements as side by side with the original, you ain't gonna want nothing to do with the original. And that's what I experienced with Twilight Princess. Once I saw just how ugly Twilight Princess was on a HD TV, you quickly realize, oh my God, this looks horrible. Like It's all blurry and murky, and so Nintendo has to make this. So, but there's something that they don't have to do with the NES, Super NES titles. They don't have to do nothing to them titles, and they look just like the day they looked when you first played them when you were 7, 8 years old, 10, 9, 5 and 6, 10 and 11, and they feel no like Punch Out. I can play Punch Out all night. Mike Tyson Punch Out, I can play that all night. Super NES Super Punch Out, I can play that all night, not feel a problem. I can play Mario, the OD Mario. I can play the Mario on the Super NES with no problems. But I couldn't play 64 like that. Guarantee you I could. I've been up, your eyes would be watering, you'd be sick, dizzy. Like, it's a lot of stuff we just didn't realize. Dude, we came a long way in this 3D space. A lot of them 2D games work, but them 3D games don't, man. So, and a lot of what you playing on the PlayStation 1, like, just imagine going back and play Tomb Raider on the PlayStation. Nobody wants to play that.
But you know what? It looks great on PC, even the old one.
Yeah, but that's PC.
Yeah.
You know, you got all those shaders and different you got 60 frames now. They probably cleaned up the edging and all that, bumped up the mapping a little bit. Something changed on it. You ain't getting the PlayStation version. I remember the PlayStation version was ugly when it came out. That game was ugly.
Ooh, the walls used to move. I'm like, why are the walls moving? I'm standing still.
Controls was horrible. Resident Evil, the original Resident Evil, God, ugly. Anyway, I think we went long enough, man. Anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here?
Not necessarily what I want to talk about. I just want to bring this to people's attention if they haven't watched it. But on the CW, the new show Black Lightning came out. It's I don't know much about him. He's a DC character. In this particular show, he's older. He has children. Has two daughters. And he's like a retired superhero, but things keep happening to try to bring him back out of it. And come to find out, his daughter actually has powers. So we're gonna find out more on the next episode. But it's called Black Lightning. And I don't think he's gonna do a crossover with Supergirl, Flash, anything. I think it's gonna be its own thing, even though they could if they wanted to.
Is this on Netflix?
No. This is on CW.
Okay.
Network.
I was asking because I might go binge watch it if it's on Netflix.
No, it just came out. Actually, if you download the CW app, you can watch it for free.
Okay.
So, but that's where I watch it at. I don't get a chance to watch it when they come on. But yeah, Black Lightning.
Black Lightning. Okay. To the one named Shadow, I agree. Wind Waker did age pretty good on the GameCube. That's true. That's one game that it looked the HD counterpart looked better, but it didn't make the original look horrible. So I agree with you on that. But Twilight Princess, yeah, you're right. Ugly. Like, dude, I almost traded it in. That's how ugly it was. I was like, there ain't no point me even trying to keep this game. This game, I'd never play this game again unless I buy the HD version. I hope that they do. If Nintendo is smart, and we can go after this. If Nintendo is smart, well, they are smart. Well, if they want to make some real money, they should release a collection bundle of all remastered Zeldas for the Switch. Like the Ocarina of Time remastered.
I'll buy it.
Twilight Princess remastered. Like all in one on one card. I don't know if they can get this on one card. I'm pretty sure they could. Wind Waker remastered, the HD Wind Waker. And the one that was on 3DS. What's that? Link Between Worlds.
Yeah.
And the Majora's Mask. Like if they release all those, like it's just like a bundle, like they did with Metroid Prime. They release all three of them. Nintendo make some money, man. Because I'll buy that. I'll buy that.
You just made me think of something. Like remember we were just talking about all those N64 horrible games. All the ones that they re-release on the 3DS and the DS, and if they will support those over, I'm buying every single last one. We talking about Star Fox 64 HD.
Yeah.
We talking about Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, dude, Mario 64 HD. I'm buying it all. I don't care. I'm buying it. You already got my. Give me my wallet. Give me my wallet. They got me. They
I
got
would buy
money.
that Star Fox because I wanted to play, and I bought my son that Star Fox remastered 64, Star Fox 64 on the 3DS. And he done messed around and lost the game. He don't know where it's at. But that game looked good, man. You know, it looked real good. And yeah, you definitely right. I would buy that. I would buy all them games over again if they bundled it, or like I said, put them in the eShop for a reasonable price. Like
Right.
they're doing these arcade archive titles. Like if they was putting the 3DS remastered Star Fox 64 for $7.99, yes,
Oh my.
all them titles will be bought.
Oh my God.
That's one of
I've been having to explain to my wife. This is what happened.
them. So anyway, this has been the Live and Level Gamers podcast, man. Nintendo, salute. You're doing some magnificent things that take a creative mind and ingenious thinking to do. Forget all the haters, all these grown babies with they underwear all bunched up, crying with pacifiers. Somebody get the grown man some milk, shut them up, because ain't nothing to cry about. This wasn't for you. So keep it moving. Like you said earlier, Keith. Keep it moving. If you didn't like it, just keep on moving. It wasn't for you anyway. But I'm gonna let you sign out, bro, and then we get out of here.
Hey, this has been a great podcast. There was a lot of stuff that was said in the chat, a lot of stuff that was said by you that just opened my mind even more to these toy cons, Labo things that I wasn't even thinking about. That classroom thing was brilliant, and
Man,
I hope that it does take off beyond your living room. So, but it's been a great podcast, guys.
yeah, been a good one. Enjoyed it. But yeah, that's what came to me, man. I was sitting at work like, dude, I can literally see this in classrooms across America.
That would be
When
nice.
that one Joy-Con was put to the little like stick figure dude, and he pushed the button and it fell over. And the one where he was pushing the buttons and it was causing the Joy-Cons to vibrate and it was moving the little thing around the floor. Like, this is just the beginning, Keith. And I saw classrooms. I was like, dude, I can see 3 or 4 switches in one classroom is in groups of threes working on these, building each one, building a different one of these devices, and then coming together and learning how it works.
Oh man,
Nintendo is smart, man. They smart. This is how you get back on Ellen, how you say it, Ellen show and all these different shows. This is how you get back on there. And they smart, man. They smart. But anyway, this has been the Live and Level Gamers podcast. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Till next time, stay classy, keep it gaming. Thanks everyone for joining us in the chat, keeping the chat lit up. All those who was there, the Truth, Nia, the one named Shadow, Cornelius, all you guys, you know who you was. Aries 73. Who else was in here? A lot of you guys. If I miss your name, just know that I appreciate you for being down here in the comment section. Till next time, folks. Deuces.